Right back here at the Hong Kong Football Club in Happy Valley, Hong Kong. I'm Terry Wright. I'm joined here with Ben Gollings, first Cup quarter-final of the day. So the big boys are out, and it's Project Waterways versus UBB Gabagol.
Gabagol kick off. Dark blue to the Project Waterways in the white.
Good attention from the kick-off by Waterboys, and the referee rules a height challenge there. UBB Gabagol with ball attack. Simple try in the corner, so UBB Gabagol up 5-0 with a kick to come early in the match.
Yeah, smart rugby there, just using the hands. Glad to see that, actually. I thought originally we were going to just take contact one out, but they've used the hands and scored quite an easy try and just soaking up the defence and turning over possession.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the first match, quarter-final, effectively knockout situation here. There's a temptation to rush things and snatch at the ball. So, kick unsuccessful there, so the score remains 5-0 for UBB Gabagol over Project Waterways. Okay, solid restart, but well taken by Project Waterways. Gabagol not committing to the breakdown.
Just a reminder that we're going to terminate each way. And we'll the referee's time.
Both teams sounding each other out here. The Gabagol defence seems well structured and organised. Seeing the ball over here. Project Waterways now in position. The bounce of the ball, particularly on the Astro, you can never pick it. And streaking away is Capone Paul. Support on the inside. Oh, unfortunately the pass from Sakao Roloa not going to hand.
Yeah, it almost opened up for them there, just a cheeky little Fijian stop and go. Bit of ding-dong with the old turnover possession at the moment. Both teams just trying to settle themselves, I think.
Yes, we've seen teams successfully go through one phase and turn over the ball 4 times in a row. So Waterboys hard on defence here, so they'll want a solid lineup. I think the referee's ruled technical infringement there, too many in the line out. Fairly simple mistake to make. Good clearance to touch. Waterboys are going to want to steady this and get some position and hold on to it for a while. Create some pressure on Gabagol and try and open up some gaps in the defence. All well cleared to the outside. Gabagol probing. Space opening up. Scramble defence though from Project Waterboys. Let it stretched.
Had numbers on the outside there if they can use it.
And good aggressive defence. There we go, still continuing with the policy of confronting. And unfortunately, the one time they take to the outside, they've run their winger on the outside there, Sakao Raloa, into touch. So, you know, good patience and defence by Project Waterboys.
Yeah, just didn't need the last pass there. I think if it had done it had gone, I think it'd been over for a second try there for UCB.
Again, Waterboys, they're going to need their line out to function a bit better here. And get out of this territory right there in goal line. Good contest. Well won there by Colin Bickerstaff. There is the touch, but not really easing the pressure too much.
No, I think you'd want to have seen that one go a lot further down the line.
Yeah, they're still hard on defence with Gavical in a very strong attacking position, sitting on the Waterboys 22. Six minutes gone. Not too many shots fired in this match. Interesting variation in the lineup. But, well covered by Waterboys. Good pressure rushing up the fence on the outside by Waterboys, but they've exposed themselves on the blind side. And we see Capone Paul into the right-hand corner for a try. Difficult conversion attempt to come.
That's UCB looked like they kind of using the one hit and then play, but it's good exchange there, coming back against the project team, and plenty of room for an easy try then.
Yeah, they're almost conditioning the Waterboys to be set for the boys trucking it up the middle and concentrating the defence there, and then veering it up and going back to the blind side.
Yeah,
smart play.
They're playing smart at the moment. I think they're just quietly just building by the looks of things.
Yeah, they keep having possession returned to them by Project Waterboys, so it's easy to play smart when you've got the ball and you're attacking. When you're forced to defend and tackle all the time, that's when the game gets tough.
Project would like to get out of their own half at the moment.
Yeah. So 2 tries down, but neither converted, so the gap's only 10 points. Nice high restart. All locked on by Gavical from the distance, so Waterboys will have a chance to pack a scrum. I think the first scrum of the match. It's refreshing to not have to watch too many scrums. They are just a means of restarting, as 2 back commentators would tell you. I think the previous front row forward commentator would wax lyrically about the value of the scrum to the game of rugby and the appreciation the spectators would have. But let's get the ball in and out and get on with the game.
Yeah, but it's kind of tactical, isn't it, in the 10s game? We're having 5 in the scrum. It's a little bit more than 7s.
Yeah. It gives you a good attacking platform, consuming those players and tying them up, getting it out of the defensive line. We'll always take it wide now.
On the ball!
Seems to be cover, and it's out on the full, unfortunately. So again, Waterboys return possession to Gavical.
Yeah, I think a bit frustrated there. Like try and hold on to the ball, build a bit of possession, use the time that's what's left in this first half now to really come back at UCB.
Looked like an opportunity on the outside there, but again, moving the ball to the outside, if you get exposed to the touchline, it's a great opportunity for the defending team to turn the ball over. The referee's seen a little knock on at the line-out, playing advantage. Nice move into the outside. Strong defence, ball not in touch yet though. Touch judge flag hasn't gone up. That player would be offside, I believe.
This is why.
So the referee's ruled in favour of Waterboys here, so they'll have the feed to the scrum.
This is why. Yeah, I was certain that was in touch.
Yes, it was a little confusion. I guess the referee's assistant has a better view than us, but do have to remember we're always right, aren't we?
Yeah, well, the refs are doing a great job out here at the moment. It's not easy for them.
So scrummed here by Ben Appleson, ball to the midfield. Waterboys probing again. Some serious heavy contact, ball spilled, but fortunately backwards. Strong run there from Jack Turley. He's persisting with movement to the right. The defenders now come back and use the wide open spaces on the left here. Oh, unfortunately, just a fumble in the contact situation here. Ball's turned over half time. 10-0 to UBB Gabgal over Project Waterboys. Ben, what are your thoughts on the first half as it shaped up?
I've been impressed with UCB's defence actually. I know they're up on points, but their defence there was clinical, and they're really just slowing everything down for Project X. I think Project X need to play out of the breakdown a bit and start moving the ball. That's the only way to I think get through this UCB team is to stretch them.
Yeah, I think UBB Gabgal are being patient in defence, but when they get the opportunity, they're getting the shoulder in there and they're making a good hit in defence. And you've seen several times it's disrupted possession and forced a couple of little knock-ons. So
yeah, they've been smart with their possession, and Project X unfortunately just some of their possession they've kicked away, and I don't think they've really built anything. I think they need to come out strong this second half now and. Well, one, target the first score, but two, really try and keep the ball and put some pressure on UCB.
Yeah, we haven't seen Project Waterboys out of their half yet, so they'll be wanting to turn some of that position they've been getting into territory so they can create the pressure.
Yeah, it looks like they've got some pace out wide, and also some players that can cause a bit of an upset one-on-one if they've got the ball out wide. But it's a matter of being able to utilise that.
It'd be nice to see those bright pink and white fluoro outlets flying down the field for some 5-pointers. But yeah, the referee looks like he's ready to restart. The reserves leave the field, and we'll be seeing Project's Waterboys kicking off and UBB Gabgal receiving.
Yeah, UBB really they want to target the first score in this half, and it pretty much sews it up for them.
Yeah, I think preferably it'd be under the post. They'll be make the conversion a little easier for the kickers. So both have been in the corners so far. But tell you what, you don't muck around if the try's there on the offing. You don't risk all try to put it under the post.
No, just take your points.
So nice high restart from Alex Glashan, taken very well by Hazakali Mudu. Probing run down the blind side. Nick Smith, has he got the pace? And he has. He's beaten two defenders, got the pace, and as requested by the goal kicker, he's going closer to the post to make the conversion easier. In fact, I think he may be the kicker himself, so
yeah,
motivated.
UBB clinical there. It was a great take off the kickoff, and just spotted the gap on the blind side, and he's got the pace to finish.
Yeah, that situation too, with the bulk of the defence fanned out across the field, there wasn't anyone really closer than the breakdown to effect the tackle.
That's not the start that Project X would have wanted.
And that was a fairly sad attempt at a conversion there by Jason Robertson. So yeah, the score remains 15-0, 3 unconverted tries. But UBB Gabgal seemingly in charge of this game and control of proceedings. Okay, Jason Robertson makes a much better fist of the restart than he did the conversion. But Waterboys have slapped the ball back well, controlling possession. Again, strong contact in that tackle by UBB Gabgal. Big number 2, Martin Mueller. The rest of defence, pressure still on the Waterboys. There's no outlet here.
No, they're not really getting anywhere at the moment, are they? Struggling to get out to their 22.
Opportunity here, numerical advantage, but again, a strong tackle by Masakali Mudu. Slows play down. Gavical just hanging and waiting. They're patient defence. They make sure their line's intact. No one's rushing, not leaving any gaps, and it's just constant pressure. It's so difficult for the Projects Water Boys to break out of their 22. Again, we've seen the same thing as in the first half. They're stuck, trapped near the goal line.
Yeah, the UBB are being really patient and clinical in defence. One, they're making their tackles. Two, they're in the right space. But Project X at the moment really aren't asking much questions of their defence either. It's one-out rugby, which is easy to defend.
Yeah, I think it's, with the clock winding down, 7 minutes to go in this game. It's not over by any means, but we need to see a bit more aggression from Projects Water Boys, I think. We'll move wide by Gavical. That's the wing. Oh, a bit ambitious. A little confusion there as to who was the intended recipient of that pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure they knew whether it was going to be a missed pass or straight hands.
I think it was a case of, if I heave this across the two of them, someone will get it. But ultimately it was Samu Bale who had to dip low and try and take that difficult pass, and he's knocked the ball on into touch. So there's the option of the scrum or line out. I think Projects Water Boys have taken the option of the scrum. So confident their scrum's solid. They'll be able to clear the ball easier here than from the line out.
I think it's interesting with 6.5 minutes still to go. You question whether they want to relieve a bit of pressure here. Let's try and get it down into UBB's 22 and then try and build from there.
The risk is, of course, kicking the ball away. You give the other team control of possession. And here we go. We're seeing a bit more urgency from Projects Water Boys, but plenty of pace there in the defensive line for Gavical. Covered that move very comfortably. Swings wide. We've got Water Boys finally finding some space, but the referees say they did it with slightly illegal means by a forward pass. But shame that, it was looking promising.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It must have been very marginal. It looked like it had gone over the top. It's still really struggling to get out of this 22 at the moment. UBB, Gavical will be very happy with where they're positioned on the field.
The small crowd here at the moment, which will build very quickly during the day, I believe, but the people stationed around halfway are disappointed. They thought they'd see a lot of rugby, but it's all been down one end. Scrum infringement. The quick tap is taken by Renata Tanana. No, sorry, that wasn't. It was Ruin Deploy taking out the referee. The referee seeing it in good humour, a smile on his face. So
yeah, I think there was opportunity there, especially if we'd have moved it wide quickly. But good option to just take the line out, take some time off the clock, but also apply a bit more pressure and probably look at coming away with another score, which will seal the game.
Good to see that humour from the refs. I saw a recent Super Rugby game where the ref got flattened and play moved on for about 4 minutes. They scored a try and he went back to the TMO all the way back to halfway so he could yellow card the guy that knocked him over by mistake. It was vindictive at best.
Is that actually allowed?
No, he clearly thought it wasn't. He wasn't happy with it being set in his bum. Okay, big clearance from Projects Water Boys now. Well fielded at the back by Jason Robinson. Going wide, and looks like there's space, opportunity here. Again, the patience being shown here by Gavical. Oh, great hit there by Jack Steele. Very fair but firm tackle. Okay, and again, Water Boys happy to stay patient. UBB Gavical happy to stay patient, keep Water Boys anchored in their own, deep in their own 22. Quick line out, still under pressure though. Good. Opportunity at last for Water Boys. Goes on the outside. Nice clearance of the ball. Oh, unfortunately. Chukwuma Azaru just hands letting him down, and UBB Gavagal breaking away with the ball. Easy try, ultimately scored under the post by, is it Renata Tanana?
It's a shame, it is just when they look like they're building something, it's just that one last pass is not going to hand and causing the turnover, and the turnover ball is such a threat in this game, and UBB have got the threats out wide and they're just simple hands and in for a score.
Yeah, it's ironic, the slow, methodical, patient way UBB Gavagal have approached this game is just progressively built pressure and responding to that pressure on the scoreboard. Project Waterboys have to take risks, and when they don't come off, opportunities for the defending side.
Yeah, it's been a clinical game by UBB Gavagal, and it looks to me as well like they really haven't expended themselves, and they'll be quite happy with this quarter final because they're going to want to save as much in the tank as they can for later, and they've done what they need to do to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to describe it as a very efficient and smothering performance. They just haven't allowed Waterboys into the game. Oh, lovely take there. And you can't play the man in the air, so Hamilton Burr coming down the side, yellow card issued, and safety is paramount, so that's the reason the referees asked the UBB Gavagal player, Pony Paul, to part the field and sit in the naughty chair. Can the Waterboys take advantage of their extra man here?
It's notable that UBB Gavagal have put out a fairly quick side out here. You know, they're not using a lot of their front row forwards at this stage in the game. They put all their backs out there, and I think they're looking to use the pace and the width of the field, which is again a clever option at the moment when Project X really aren't offering much other than one-out rugby.
Yeah. It's all about pride now. Project Waterboys going for that try before the end of the game, but again, Gavagal defence is one flat line, it's patient, there's no gaps, it's difficult, and when they get close to the ball, they rush up and put pressure on. Space on the outside this time. Big man too. Well done, very well recycled by Scott Bickerstaff there. It's opening up. Use the numbers now. Oh, getting the last pass, just not going to hand.
Still another opportunity with the turnover.
Back in position. Some gaps here. Dancing on the sideline. Nice play by Keir Goswin. The longest period of position I think we've seen with Waterboys, but again, 2-on-1 outside, and at last they've taken the sensible option. And Jack Turley strolls into for a very comfortable try with very little time, in fact no time on the scoreboard.
Rewarded for some good rugby at the end there. You know, finally they start to move the ball, they've gone from one width to the other. There was a turnover, they managed to turn it back. I mean, they're just missing those 2-on-1 opportunities though. It was good to see them finally get over.
But even in that last stanza of play, they had the ball for an extended period, but several times they made the wrong decision, didn't they? They confronted, they took the man on, they were lucky to scramble back the ball, but yeah, they got their try. So a bit of pride restored and confidence to go into the next game. Okay, moving right along here, our next game will see the Samurai playing King's College All Boys. So this should be a very exciting encounter.
Yeah, unfortunately I missed Samurai yesterday, but they look like they've got a class side here with all the Fijian boys and led and coached by Rocco, who's certainly got the experience out there.
Yeah, look.